Alright guys, y'all know what time it is. Disclaimer time! Also, don't forget to subscribe to Turnvo. Sorry about my mic. It is new. It is actually not new. It's new, old, whatever. Disclaimer. These are my opinions, so don't hate my channel and comment hate speech. Also, racism is not tolerated here, so don't do it, guys. Also, we must be reviewing Disney Soul, obviously, and a channel that goes by the name, the Anti-Racism Academy. Yeah, I know, some people think this movie is racist. Somehow racist? No, I don't know. It's not. It's really not. Okay, guys. We're gonna be moving on. Skip that. Yada, 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 yada. We already know. Alright, let's move on to begin today's video. Pixar's Soul was directed by Pete Docter and co-directed Kim Powers. Enjoys Joe Gardner, who is a musician. Pixar's Soul is about a black man named Joe Gardner who is a musician and enjoys life playing piano. He's a middle school band teacher, but unfortunately he passes away at the beginning because he wasn't paying attention and fell into a manhole. The plot of the movie is about the life of Joe Gardner as he accepts that life isn't fair and has to go through a tedious adventure to try, hint hint, wink wonk, try to get his body back and get back into his body. While he's there, he ends up in the Great Before. Ooh, spooky. Yeah, I know. Pretty spooky, pretty serious. But our man, Joe Gardner, yeets himself out of existence into the Great Before. Who's Joe Gardner? He is a man of jazz, great music, okay? The music in this movie is really good, really great. But let's move on. As Joe he runs into a few new characters, stuff like that, but we're going to be moving on from that. It's not character development time, it's movie review time, / Anti-Racism Academy review. But let's move on. Now, after Joe runs into a few characters, there are before that, while he's in the Great Before as a concept is what happens before life. And through the movie Soul, it's how souls get their own personality, which I like the concept a lot. Also, guys, may I just say, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, but let's continue. The concept of soul is how people get their personalities and how they do that. And throughout Disney's Soul, you see many people, and they're like Easter eggs through different Pixar movies, referencing Up, you got many other things. But throughout that, people get their personalities, whether it's being devilish, just hypocritical to people, or just, honestly being a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, which is kind of me in a nutshell. But also, may I just say, how beautiful the designs of the characters in Soul. Honestly, it's not much to go by, as each person doesn't have much of a characteristic as they have not lived on Earth yet. But throughout the series, you see Joe Gardner, obviously he's lived before. He's died already. He has his personality. He has his hat, his glasses, and he still has his voice. But throughout the movie, you see Soul 22 do they don't have to do one voice. But throughout the movie, 22 decides to do a white female voice, which is more of a, it's kind of more of a condescending voice, as you are told in the movie, as it apparently annoys many people. Soul 22 has had many mentors like Abraham Lincoln, just all of the great people throughout history. And other than that, it's a great movie. Y'all should watch it. Continue it. It's a great movie. But other than that, we're gonna be moving on. The characters that Joe meets is Jerry, another Jerry. Also Terry. We'll get back to Terry later because they keep track of the souls. But we're gonna be actually watching the clip of the Anti-Racism Academy video, and we'll be commenting on that and what they have to say. Because honestly, y'all are gonna y'all are gonna be flipping when y'all see this kind of stuff. Alright, guys.
Unpopular opinion, but I'm convinced that Disney hates black people.
Okay, one, I'm gonna say this, if they hated black people, they wouldn't have black characters in any films, and yet, I do have to say something though. Yes, there is a problem with there being less black people in movies, like Frozen 2, you got the guy from Arendelle or some shit, the other forest area. One black dude in that whole movie. You got other movies that have, you know, because that's what they choose. But the thing is, there are more and more movies starring like a person whose skin tone is black, and I support that. But let's move on. Let's move on to see what this person says. Also, guys, I'm just gonna say this. Don't even pay attention to this channel, because it's just a joke, honestly.
Stay tuned to hear why the movie Soul is a prime example.
One, it's not a prime example, and two, we're about to get into this why it's not racist. And by being the Anti-Racism Academy saying something is racist, you're defeating your own purpose of your thing by calling something racist when it's not. I mean, that you're free to your own opinion, but in my opinion, this movie is not racist. Let's continue.
Hi YouTube, welcome to the Anti-Racism Academy. My name is Brandy Blocker Anderson and I'm a triple Ivy League educated lawyer, teacher, activist, and the mother of an adorable 3-year-old named William. In this
Alright, let's go back.
Activist and the mother of an
Your son is adorable. Your son is good. Good job. Good job for raising a son. Great job.
Adorable 3-year-old named William. In this video, we're going to discuss why the movie Soul is yet another example of Disney's anti-black bias.
In my opinion, we're gonna see why I think it's not. Let's continue. Part 1. Will audience watch if they're black the whole time? Alright, well, first of all, that's a fucking racist statement in my... Excuse my language. That is a very racist statement in the whole, like, that whole statement. Now, some people, yeah, I get it. It's your own freedom of speech, but, like, look at this. Look at this sentence and rethink that to yourself. Will audience watch if they're black the whole time? But... Let's just continue, shall we?
Have you ever noticed that
yeah, Disney Princesses and the Frog. Yes, I get it. Why they think it's racist? That movie's racist. Cause yeah, the person in the okay, yes, it's a black person, but they get turned into a frog. From my perspective, it's part of the story. You could have thrown in a white person in there, and it still would have been. And then you would have thrown a white person in the same situation as I don't know the character's name. It's that person's name who gets turned into a frog. We wouldn't, like, there wouldn't be a problem with that. It's part of the story. But they only find it racist because it's a black person.
He has a tendency.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be racist if it was a white person. I'm just saying this movie isn't like, yes, there are kind of racist bits in this movie, but the thing is, the main majority of people in Princess and the Frog are the black community. So let's just continue and continue.
See to turn protagonists of color into animals or otherwise fail to show them in their human form. You would think.
Also, let's go back. Let's cut to this. Phil, okay, yes, they may not be black, but they are colored. There are people of colored skin. But may I just say, Coco, that whole movie was about the Day of the Dead, you know, celebration of that. And basically, their grandmother didn't like music, but he likes music. I forgot his name. But they had to travel to the other side, and the basic part of that was Day of the Dead, skeletons, skulls, stuff like that. That's their own traditions and stuff, and I got no problem with that. So that isn't racist at all. Disregard what this whole person said just right here. Alright, let's continue. Let's get into it.
In their human form. You would think Disney would have learned this lesson from the backlash against the Princess.
The thing is, the backlash against the Princess and the Frog, and that is just like a small percentage of the people. Like a lot of people still like the movie. It's still a good movie, and it was part of the story. There wasn't anything racist about that. Anyway, let's continue.
Princess and the Frog, which featured the company's first black animated protagonist, the not-quite Princess Tiana, in...
Yeah, but the thing is, Princess and the Frog wasn't about being a princess. It was about, well, Princess and the, like, yeah, okay, y'all should know. Princess and the Frog, I watched that before. It was a good movie. But it wasn't about having a person immediately, oh, I'm a princess stuff. It led up to them being not a princess, but the role of a princess in that movie. Yes, they got turned into a frog. They got turned into something that wasn't human. And yeah, their skin tone is colored. But you know what? It's part of the story, and it's not racist because the thing is, if it could have been any white person and stuff. But let's continue. Sorry if y'all don't like my opinions, but let's continue with this. The first black animated protagonist was in 2009, so that fact is very correct.
2009. 2009. Let that...
2009. Let me get sink in with your grin there. And the thing is, there is still a lot of problems today with racism and stuff, and I don't like to see it anywhere, which is why on my channel description for the first part of this video, don't go to my comments, don't be seeking anything from me. This is my opinion, and this is what my issues with the thing. Now, I do agree with some of the things that they say in this video, but some of them I just don't. I had to make a video about it. Alright, let's move on.
That sink in. In that film, Disney opts to portray Tiana as a frog for the majority of the run.
Yeah, as a frog, because it's part of the story. The thing is, this person was of colored, and they were also a frog. But the thing is, in that area, I think it was like Louisiana? I don't know, I feel like it's like Tennessee, Louisiana, or like one of those states, you know, in between, because that's where it kind of looked like it takes place, because I've been on many vacations, traveled through there, and it looked very similar. And it's like the swamps area and stuff like that.
Runtime. In Soul, less than 10 minutes into the movie, Joe Gardner, voiced by Jamie Foxx,
may I also just say,
is turned into a blue sperm
okay, first of all, that's a complete bullshit lie.
cell, which I guess is supposed to be...
Are you stupid? That's the soul. That's literally, it's like a mini you before. That's like
a nod to Casper.
I don't even know, guys. Like, look, like this fact is this fact is so stupid. When they have hands, they have a full body, arms, everything, glasses, a hat. It's supposed to be a detailless version of his soul, because it's not like he's out of his body. But if you do notice, thing is, yes, in the movie, also, may I just say, Joe Gardner does get his body back, but in the first part, he actually gets into the body of the cat, because it was an accident, because I fell into the wrong area, or the wrong time.
To turn him into a cat.
And they want to say that it's racist because they're not letting him get into his body, or his former human self, which I have to just disagree. That's just a biased statement, in my opinion, and you shouldn't look at a kid's movie and see, oh,
while leaving Tina...
like, okay, may I just say, you shouldn't go into a kid's movie and be like, oh, well, what can I find that's racist with this? Like, that shouldn't be your first thing from a movie.
To communicate with the world, must they go...
One, the voice of Joe Gardner is voiced by a black person. He's a great man. They do great TV shows, movies, stuff like that. Great actor, great stuff. It's directed by the black community. By, I think I said it in the beginning. It was like, not Pete Docter. Pete Docter is director, the co-director. Let's see.
The case, right, babe?
And then, like, why, okay, my thing is, in this video, why are they pulling up Get Out? That's not Pixar. Like, that is not Pixar. Don't be pulling up clips from entirely different broadband, like, movies and everything.
And then a cat. And then having Tina Fey voice Joe's character are all ways of avoiding true representation.
That is actually also false. True representation in this movie. Okay, yes. The thing is, Tina Fey voicing Joe's character because they swapped bodies. Tina Fey, aka Soul 22, was accidentally got into Joe Gardner's body. Therefore, Joe Gardner's body got switched with the cat. So they flipped the roles. And then throughout the movie, okay, let's go through here. Soul, aka that person right there. Come on.
Sacrifice their life for her to live. She opted.
Nope. Right about.
According to the plot, Tina Fey's character didn't need someone to sacrifice
Basically, this person, Soul 22,
their life for her to live.
get many things.
The only reason she got her spark was because she was in his body.
Now that statement is very also racist as well. Like the amount of criticism and bullshit in this video is high. Like it is like pollutant levels of 10, like 10 to 20 levels of it. And then if you look at the comments, it's like I get it, it's people's opinion, but my thing is it's how they say it, and then it's also like they don't see the other side of it. Because I'm seeing both sides, and I see how some scenes, yeah, it looks a little bit, but the thing is, and then they probably gonna...
For example, he recalls the scene in which Tina Fey, while in Joe's body, enthralls a barbershop full of black men with her blathering on about philosophy. Yeah, right. This scene also
that one's crap. Like,
implies that Tina Fey is better at being a black man than Joe by having his longtime barber go...
Actually, that one's a complete bullshit statement right there. Because hold on, we're gonna stop right here. That they... Hold on, let's go back to see what they said.
Implies that Tina Fey is better at being a black man than...
Actually, no, that's not even what it implies. It implies that Tina Fey as Soul 22 inside Joe's body said things that Joe normally would have never said. Basically, new topics, new subjects, new anything like philosophy, it intrigued them, it made them interested. Basically something that, oh, maybe they wouldn't have never talked about, which is what got their attention. It's what hooked them, what grabbed them in. But we're going to continue.
Joe by having his longtime barber go out of his way to mention how seen he feels by Joe that day because all Joe ever wanted to talk about was jazz.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Joe wanting to talk about jazz, I understand that, but with Soul, like, that is not racist at all.
By having him reflect on these moments just before deciding to literally die for a white woman, the scene sends the message that Joe's life isn't worth living and his redemption arc lies in death.
Thing is, that is also false, because his life is not... It's not about is a black man's life worth living. It's he feels that he has completed his life, and that he wants Soul 22 to have their life, to begin their journey. Which is, in my opinion, very, very good. That, not, what I'm trying to say here is, it's not about, oh, a black man's life is worth living. Everyone has life, should have life, be given life worth living. Whether you're pink, purple, red, green, blue, white, black, any color, doesn't matter what you are. In here, through the movie, he realizes that his life is over. He had his life, he had a good life, and basically he felt like he was okay to let go of it, and that he basically was setting up the train for Soul 22 to have their life, which is why they don't have the Earth Pass and they have it. And Soul 22 does.
As his choice to die represents his realization that he's been taking his life for granted, and therefore Tina Fey deserves to live.
That is a complete false. We're just gonna kind of skip through some of this. And then, okay, that's just the same thing.
Never had a full-time
Alright, let's see.
job. According to his mom, Joe's dad was also a failed musician who couldn't support his family financially, forcing her to be the breadwinner with her tailoring shop. Joe credits his dad with introducing him to his life's passion, yet his mom completely dumps on his legacy. It's Tina Fey's intervention that prompts Joe to stand up to his mother after she channels Rita's mom in Sister Act 2.
Singing does not put food on the table. Singing does not pay the bills. Sing with your daddy and he
have grown students. The film hints at the structural inequalities that teachers who teach children of color face, such as inadequate pay,
okay, I gotta agree with inadequate pay, underpaid,
health insurance, pension, and other benefits,
yeah,
as well as the lack of funding for music and arts programs.
Music and arts, yeah, those are actually very underrated.
However, Joe's failure to maintain a full-time job is cast as a personal failing, with his mom clowning him by retorting,
"Too bad you can't rescue your career."
Why she gotta be like that? Anyway,
yeah, that's pretty cold. I gotta agree with that.
The point is that this film sends crappy messages about both black mothers and fathers.
No, that one's false. His father died, and due to unforeseen circumstance. 2, his mother was actually just trying to do what she thought was best for him. Now, it may not have been the best, but it's what she tried to do. But yeah, guys, I think that what does Soul have to say about race? Hold it.
You know, because we all look alike. Then,
oh yeah, guys, what?
The evil death fairy mistakes a
that's not even a fairy. That's like one of the mentors. That's Terry. That is not Jerry. That is the Terry. We are coming back to Terry, like I said at the beginning of the video. This is Terry. This is the one who keeps track of all souls that have passed away, and basically the count.
A random black guy for Joe. You know, because we all look alike.
That statement is also very fucking false. Excuse my language. I want to say that statement is so false. The fact that you want to say, oh, that all black people look alike is such a racist statement. And may I also say, when Terry is looking down the street, vice versa, it's actually very far away. So it's like they were both passing, going the same direction. They kind of mixed each other up. So obviously he's gonna get confused. But the thing is, the way that you try to say, oh, that all black people look like, that is very false. That is very wrong. Everybody looks different and looks unique to themselves. That, like, because when I watched this scene,
Death Fairy mistakes a random black guy for Joe,
which is a complete false statement. Like, from when I saw the movie, basically, here's your little thing, hall there. So they start walking down and mistakes the wrong person. Yeah, it's a mistake, but that's not racist though. And yes, these may be like wholly divine beings, but they still make mistakes, like the count being off, like Joe Gardner's soul jumping out and making the count off, which is why he's still searching for Joe Gardner in the first place.
You know, because we all look alike. Then he snatches the soul out of this man's body into the sunken place and goes all crazy cop on the poor guy before realizing his mistake.
See? He realizes his mistake because he didn't look at the person correct. He just pulled the next person that he saw go by and he corrected his mistake.
The Death Fairy leaves the man visibly traumatized.
Yes, now I do agree that they shouldn't have left him visually traumatized, which was wrong to do. Like, oh yeah, have a good day, oh, don't eat the potato chips, and then like the guy throws the potato chips because...
telling him, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I do agree with this.
Before appearing...
They shouldn't have done that, because that was just a bit...
in a bag of potato chips, telling him to lay off the processed foods because they kill. The fact that the sequence is played for laughs shows just how thoughtless and insensitive the folks at Disney are towards...
Now that one is false. That is very false. But I do agree that they shouldn't have done the potato chip part.
Black issues such as trauma, racial... profiling, police brutality, and poor eating habits.
Okay, we're gonna skip that because that has nothing to do with the...
Meets Get Out with a little bit of Sister Act 2.
Okay, the thing is, Sister Act doesn't have anything to do with this. Get Out has nothing to do with Coco. Yes, that's Pixar, but the thing is, that's a whole nother episode we'll get into later, like way later down the line. But that's all the time we have for today, guys. This person, I'm not saying don't subscribe, but guess don't subscribe to them, man. Like, you can have your own opinions and stuff, but I'm just, like, from my opinion, I don't agree. So we're gonna end it here. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Hit the notification bell down below. Just go right here, you see that? Click the channel button. Find more videos.